Hello, everyone. Just went out. Perfect timing. Hello, everyone. This is Eric from Execute back for another live stream. Yeah, it's good to see everyone here. It's been a while. Well, I didn't go live last week. I was busy, but promised that I'm going to be live most weeks if possible. Although I'm going on vacation soon, so in a couple of weeks, so we'll see how that goes. But of course, I'd like to go live. If you're new here, put your name and where you're from in the comments down below. Unfortunately, we're not going to be that many people in the live stream because something bad happened. Usually, we have a lot of viewers on Facebook too because I stream on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook. But this week, something bad happened. My Instagram got hacked. And then a day later, through Instagram, they hacked my Facebook and I've lost everything. And I've been trying to contact Facebook. Actually, the very first night, while I still had my Facebook account, I was able to contact Facebook and I was talking to someone there, and then they just left. And then after that, I haven't heard from them. And then the next day, my Facebook got taken over. Now we're only on YouTube and on Instagram. But I'll still like to talk with you guys. Put your comments. If you've got anything you want to talk about, put it in the comments down below. And we'll do something like that. Okay, please upload more lessons on lesson planning like you did for the present indefinite tenses. I think I did one video. Hi Kushi. This is my main plan for 2025. I realize that a lot of teachers, what we actually need, when you start teaching is, or even if you're just a teacher, is you're looking for someone to explain how to teach specific grammar, and then maybe also adding resources to it. I know that's exactly what I want as a teacher. So I've decided I made a curriculum. I wrote down like 100 different grammar topics to teach. And so I wrote down these grammar topics and I started looking for resources for them. And then I also wanted to make it into my own worksheet that I could show teachers and then explain exactly how I would go about teaching the grammar with different activities and worksheets. And I started doing that. But the main thing is it takes such a long time for me to make the worksheets because that's not really my forte. I'm good at looking up ideas and sharing activities, and then for me to go to make the worksheet takes a long time. But I think it's necessary to do it that way because if I create my own worksheet, I'm able to create dialogues and activities and also share the fun resources that you can use that I think are the best, or the ones that I found. Because it takes the longest, but I think that's the best way. So I created 4 videos on 4 lessons to do. I think it was like it wasn't the past tense. Yeah, it was the present indefinite, and it was the how to teach time, and it was the be verb is, am, are. So I made those videos, the first 4, and I've completed 4 more worksheets that I'm going to shoot perhaps in 2 weeks. I'm going to shoot them before I go on vacation. And then when I go on vacation, my aim is to create more of these worksheets and more of these lessons. So I'm definitely going to make more videos on exactly on these lessons. And I'm planning on doing 100 lessons. So I want to cover almost all the grammar for high beginner to high intermediate, and even some advanced grammar. So my plan is to make 100 videos with the worksheets and activities and resources that you can use. So that's my plan. And then after that, I want to make 100 lessons based on topics, so if it's for animals or for food or something. So that's my plan for the next 2 years, but it's going to take a lot of work. Especially, it's not just writing a script and reading it and thinking of activities. The making the worksheets is going to take the longest time. I have thought about just speed running through it, just creating how to teach activities, common problems to look, common errors to look for. I have thought about doing something like that, but then I think it's more valuable to also have the resources, because then I have to go back and create the resources and share that too. So very good question. Thank you for asking. And I'll start releasing those next year. Madeline, how have you been? It's been a while. It's so good to see you. Manuel, good to see you too. And Tenerife. And he said, okay, thank you. Sorry, I explained for a long time. Also, could you please suggest 2 different grammar topics that I can teach my rotational supervision? Currently, my BEd internship is ongoing. Excellent. Well, just take something that is really useful, so just look it up. So if we say what are 2 useful... why are you searching? Don't search. Useful. Yeah, so what are 2 useful grammar topics to do? Not the simple present. Everybody knows that, but it is useful. Countable and uncountable nouns. Actually, I've made 2 lessons on those, on the simple present tense and countable and uncountable nouns. I think it's useful, but it's not the most. I think the most useful ones going to talk about maybe talking about modals, asking, giving suggestions, asking for advice, and then also perhaps, talking about the past. I think explaining what we did in the past or what we're going to do in the future. So I think those are the ones you're going to want to look for. Actually, the next 4 lessons I will share, I think it might be the past and the present continuous to do something like that. Angelina, it's my first time to watch your live video. Where do we live now? Yeah, I'm in South Korea at the moment, and I do a live stream. I used to do it 1 hour from now, but now I do it a little bit earlier so that I can go home and sleep. But it is sad because a lot of my viewers are in South America and North America, in the Americas, and it's what, 8 a.m. there now? I think 6, 7, or 8 a.m. I don't remember. Wait, what is Eastern Standard Time? No. What is the time? Let's see. What is the time in Brazil? Yeah, it's 9 a.m. right now. Really? So it's 12 hours difference? Okay, it's not bad. Okay, I think 9 a.m. is okay. Abreen, can you help me? Yes, I'll try. I'll try to help you. I don't know what your question is, but put it down there. And how to plan these 2 topics in a great way. So the most important thing is when you teach grammar is to make it practical and useful to the students. So whoever you're teaching, make sure that you have activities where they can either practice a dialogue or that they can communicate with others. So let's say you're going to do the past tense, write down 6 past tense questions. What did you do yesterday? What did you eat last week? What was your favorite vacation, or something like that? And then the students can go around class and interview different people, for example, or they can create they should create a conversation with a friend about the past tense. So make it something that is easy for them to practice. And when you do these grammar topics, we tend to get into a mode where we just teach and explain, and we don't give the students enough time to practice. Also very important. So first you're going to explain the grammar. You're going to give them some activities that they can do. Actually, I made a video on inductive and deductive grammar teaching, And so, in the one way, you can give the students examples and then they can learn the rule. But I think many teachers just a lot of students prefer just to know the rule, and then you give them examples that they can practice. That's also easy. So remember to go through some examples with them when you teach the grammar, and then later on, you should let them actually do some practical activities where they do that. My dad is here. Hello, Dad. Kotso, hi, sir. Do you think the educational will evolve? How? Ooh, interesting. I think there are a lot of changes coming. Recently, I've been working on teachers quitting videos, and a lot of people are quitting teaching. But I don't think it's going to be one of the areas where AI is going to be so important in terms of how we teach and how the students learn. And we're going to find a way to live with AI. But personally, I don't think teachers will ever be replaced, because we need that personalized touch. Sorry, guys, I should sit up. Oh, I should just move this down a little bit. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Better? Much better. Okay, yeah. How will it change or evolve? Yeah, so AI is obviously going to be important. I think, another thing that I saw that I hope changes is I saw this, I think it's Elon Musk that shared this graph of, in the past 10 years, how the amount of admin has increased by 100% in the educational sector, where the teachers have just stayed the same, and the amount of principals and assistants has risen. But so I think what should happen is we should actually try and get more teachers in education to take the workload off of the rest of us that has to carry it. The problem, though, is when it comes to spending money on education, it's actually really bad, because you could say that education is important. We should spend more money on education, but the fact is that it's already been done. I come from South Africa, and something that's interesting is in relation to the South Africa's GDP. South Africa spends the most out of any country in the world on education. And then when you look at how countries do in the world, South Africa might be one of the lowest ranking countries in the world. So obviously, if you spend a lot of money on education, but it's being used in nefarious ways, in evil ways, and it's not going towards the teachers, then why spend it? So obviously there has to be some kind of reform where perhaps it's not in the government's hands, perhaps it should be in local governments, because actually in South Africa, the thing is, you get these private schools that are world class, that are amazing, but then the public sector spends a lot of money on teachers, or on whatever they're spending it on. They're not spending it just on teachers. So hopefully we'll have more teachers in the future. The other thing with education is that the amount of children in the world is declining. So you would see places like the birth rate in South Korea. It's 0.7 kids per woman, and so it should be around 2.1 for that country to be sustained. So now you have kindergartens are starting to close, and it's starting to affect more and more people. And we'll really see it as teachers. We'll see it, I think it's in 5 years, you'll see a massive difference. So we'll have less kids, but still, teachers don't want to teach anymore. Manuel, yeah, so let me ask. How will education evolve in the next 5 years? I want to tell you guys something interesting. So I was going to calm down, keep calm, and carry on. Take care. Thank you, Manuel. Nahed, please tell us more about classroom management strategies. Actually, I just finished a new one, a new video on how to teach how to teach high school or teenagers, um, classroom management for teenagers, and I will share that video with you. I haven't made a thumbnail yet. I need to make a thumbnail, but I just finished editing it. I think yesterday, so I'll share that with you. Actually, I think I've covered almost everything that has to do with classroom management. So if you, okay, guys, here's I'm putting out the video for how to teach classroom management tips for teenagers. Um, I think I've covered everything. You just have to go through my catalog, and I think that I'll have to make some more playlists that are more clear when it comes to classroom management or activities videos. But what I will do is, what I want to do is, I want to make sure I've covered everything classroom management. I've put out, almost 20 videos just on classroom management, and maybe I'll make a big compilation that you can watch in one sitting. It will probably be like 3 or 4 hours long. Tips for teaching online. Make sure that you practice with the students. Actually, I've already shot a course on how to teach online. It covers everything. It shares activities, resources, tips. What I will say is, with teaching online, keep it simple. You want to have a lesson plan or just a structure when you teach. You want to start your classes with nice questions that you can get the student engaged, because the quicker you get your students to talk in online classes, the easier. You want to break that ice quickly. So have some questions to practice with the students immediately when they come in. And then you should try and get the students to speak as much as possible. So have questions ready, have some games, activities, and some dialogues too. Sorry. Go to ChatGPT, ask it to write down some activities where the verb is out, so that they can practice reading, or to create a dialogue based on whatever topic you're teaching. And then you can also play games. For example, you get websites like Bamboozle, where you can it's a fun game where the student picks something. So yeah, get the students talking. Also, with your online classes, get the students to share more about themselves, whatever's in their area. Let them talk about their toys. If you're teaching adults, get them to share more about their lives. You want to make it practical, and then take notes. So if you're going to teach someone, let's say you've got 5 classes, make notes on the person, so that the next class you can ask them about it. So have a structure. At the start of the class, you've got questions, you do activities, you teach a little bit, but you want to get the students invested, and then you practice a lot of dialogues, a lot of questions. If they're doing reading, let them read. And then at the end of the class, make sure that you have some personal time, where perhaps something I talked about before, it's called something like mom points. So they should be able to share something after class, where they so when you finish class, you can say, okay, well, today we talked about the past tense. What did you eat yesterday? What did you do? And then make sure that the student, and when you take a regular verb, it gets plus ed. So give them some examples, so that when they finish the class, they feel like, oh, this is what I learned. And tell them to tell their parents what they learned about. Students want to share new things they learned, and it should be practical and useful. And then also ask them some questions about what they're going to do until the next time you see them, so that you've got those questions to ask them when they come back. And it's all about building relationships anyway. The future of education depends on the country, population growth, and culture. Very true, Dad. I'd like to know your opinion on how many students is the proper amount for teaching and learning a foreign language. As far is the Yeah, I like a good number. I think around 10 to 12 is good, because you can put them in different groups. You can put them in pairs. You can put them in groups of 4. You can even do some activities where you get like a speed dating event where you've got 6 and 6, and it's also enough time for each student to have some talking time in class. Yeah, you want to make sure that you can reach all the students. I try and ask my students as many questions as possible so that all of them have some time and some questions in class where they should share something. Very important. In what way can you do lesson planning for the topic countable and uncountable nouns? I mean, what would be the TLMS that can be used for? TLMS. What is TLMS? TLMS. Unless you have like a, I don't know what this is. Unless you had, it's a spelling mistake. Teaching, okay, teacher learning materials. Okay, I learned something new. TLM, teaching learning materials. Oh, excellent. Yeah, so a website that I would suggest if you want worksheets is you go to ISL Collective, or you can go to Live Worksheets. Oh yeah, this is another tip. If you're teaching online, go to ISL Collective or Live Worksheets and you type in uncountable nouns and it'll bring things up. Now, with uncountable nouns, I think the easiest thing to go into is food, because you can count one banana, an apple. So you have your countables, and then you have your uncountables, your bread, your rice, your coffee. So you've got examples that you can use, and you can also make it physical, so you can have a fridge with different amounts of foods inside. How much, how many, I have a lot of, I have some, I don't have any, how much, how many. Yeah, so I think that's the easiest way to do that. So you're going to, but remember, you want to introduce it step by step. So you're going to first introduce the countable nouns and the uncountable. You're going to look at some of the food. You're going to teach them some phrases to use. And when you do the lesson planning, first, you're going to want to say, what is your lesson objective? So it could be, my lesson objective is for the student, or lesson outcome. What is it? LO, lesson outcome objective. You're going to want to learning outcome. Learning outcome. The learning outcome is for them to learn about uncontrollable and controllable nouns, and you also want to add something to it. What are they supposed to be doing with that knowledge? So you should say they should be able to say how much and how many, or they should be able to ask so you start with your learning outcomes, what you want them to achieve. You look at the resources that you can share, and then you can look for some worksheets on ISL Collective, and then you want to kind of have a way for them to have a practical way of learning about it too. So let's say they learn about what the differences between the two, and then you do some activities with them. When you finish, you want the students to practically apply it. So you can say, well, I want you to practice a dialogue, make a dialogue with your partner, and the two of you have to practice going shopping, and you have to ask how much of something you need. So that's something you can do. Yeah, and then afterwards you just want to check with your students and do some assessment on that. I hope that helps. Questions for modals? Yeah, no, I like and some same question for modals. Kushi, I can't do your work for you. Yeah, I know the feeling though. The thing is, when it's it's easier just to shut your brain down and to ask someone else to do it for you, and I just automatically start answering it. Oh, okay. Anyway, Sintubu, hello. How are you doing? Good to see you online. Sintubu is so it's tofu in Korean. Abdella, hello everyone. I hope your day is going well. Concerning English, I want to ask about being a customer server agent. It needs to be a native speaker, and I'm intermediate speaker. It needs to be, and I'm. Oh, listen. If you're going for an interview, you mean, and you feel like you're only intermediate, The thing is, you're only going to get a limited amount of like questions. So just you don't need to be a native speaker. You just need to practice for whatever um, customer service agent you're going to be. So if you're preparing, or if you have the job, or if you're looking for the job, look up some common questions and queries that you're going to get, and some responses, because 80% of the time you're going to get the same questions and you have to give the same answer. So create some kind of workbook for you to use ChatGPT. Ask them, okay, well, I'm going into, if it's an IT service, create a bunch of questions I can expect. Give me some example answers. Prepare those answers, and you should be okay. Like I said, a native speaker, I think if you want that specific job, focus on just the skills to do the job. And then in time, as you improve, you can look at becoming a native speaker. So, you're worried about not being a native speaker. Instead, just learn those skills, those specific questions. What is the time different? What is the difference between? Wow, it's so much different, Kotso. Yeah, so if you teach English in Korea, it's just teaching English. You go into class, you get a class of 6 to 20 students, 6 to 30 students, whatever it might be. If you're teaching in an academy, it would probably be around 10 students. If you're teaching in a school, it should be around 20 students. And then, you're just going to teach them whatever you have to teach them. And it's more about having fun for the students. It's for them to get to know English in a fun way, and to interact, to play games, and to become comfortable with the language, have some fun experiences. Whereas if you're going to teach in South Africa, obviously, you're going to want to be more professional. You're going to, what's the word? Well, you're going to have to be a teacher. So in South Africa, you've got to go to meetings. You've got to meet parents. You've got to work with the kids. You've got to teach extramurals. You have to be an actual teacher. If you're working in Korea or in China or Japan, you just have to teach the subject, and you teach English, and then you go home. So yeah, it's way different. And now that to make up for it, you're going to live in Korea, so you're a foreigner. You don't have that many friends. Your family's far away. But there are many positives too, like it's easier to travel. You can save more money. But yeah, there are lots of pros and cons about teaching overseas. Ah, I do know Toastmasters, Liam. Yeah, I'm quite impressed with people that do Toastmasters. Yeah, I think I'm lazy. I don't want to do Toastmasters. I'm actually going to have to use my brain, but it's super valuable. It's so good for if you want to improve your speaking, because I know even for myself, I put in a lot of ums and ahs, and I tend to work with the script, except if I'm doing these live streams. I started these live streams to improve my speaking and be better at like answering questions about teaching. But Toastmasters is really interesting. I think it would be fun doing something like that, but once again, quite lazy. But I've seen so many people, improve a lot when they actually have to take a topic and discuss it, give their opinion, or just the way that they talk about it. Yeah, no, I got it, Kushi. Yeah, no, guys, it's so nice to see you all here. I'm just quite sad because usually if I have Facebook on, it's around 100 people that come on, and now with just YouTube, it's about 20. So, I miss. I hope I can get my Facebook back and my Instagram back, because, yeah, I feel out of the loop. I don't have my audience on there. It's very lonely without them. No, I'm happy you guys joined. I'm just. I hope I can get it back. I've got all my photos, all my connections. I'm, I can't be social anymore because I've been deplatformed. I don't know how, but they took it over and I can't get it back. Facebook isn't getting back to me. It's actually Alina. How are you doing? So good to see you. Yeah, so everything's going well. I edited so many videos today. Wait, I was looking at something. What is this one? Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you guys about a student of mine. So I've got a special needs student, and I don't mean just a special needs student as, oh, it's someone that's got ADHD or someone that's a little bit slow. Or no, this girl has she's her mom accompanies her everywhere, and her mom's so sweet, and she needs a lot of attention. So her mom comes with her to class, or the university also gives a person for her to come out. But her mom's so sweet. So, for example, she obviously I've got to make accommodations for her because she's not able to do anything on her own. But so her mom practices like a dialogue with a speech. No, wait, it was a speech. Practices a speech with her where the mom goes and she writes out all the sentences in English, and then also she writes the English in Korean, because with Korean you read out the letters, the romanization, where it's basically it's the English pronunciation written out in Korean, so you can basically read Korean. And so the mom would write everything out and go through her daughter with it. So the girl is actually, she's not capable of learning on her own, but she's like an amazing pianist. And so her mom sends me like a recording of her playing Mozart, and it's just amazing. But yeah, the mom is I definitely think a saint for taking care of her daughter like that. And it's so sweet because so she's in a class, and it's a really fun class. Some of the students are very energetic, and some really cool people in there. And then the mom comes in with her, and she just talks to the kids. She's like, and she brings them snacks. And so yeah, the kids don't mind her daughter being in there. And then anyway, so for her final test, I thought, what, the mom does such a good job. For her final exam, I want to do a dialogue with her. So I went on to ChatGPT. Oh, let me quickly see if I can share this with you. Yeah, let me share it with you so you guys can see. Present, share screen, window, Chrome tab, this one, and share. Okay, yeah, you guys should be able to see this. Hi. Okay, so I actually went in here. Oh, should I make it smaller? No, it's good. Let's see if I can make it smaller. Hey. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in for you guys so you can see well. Okay, so basically, I asked her to, the girl's name is Jian. And so I just asked ChatGPT, okay, well, just create a quick dialogue for us, something simple, because she's very low level. And so we created this. And then I created 2 dialogues at the park and at the cafe. Well, actually, not at the park. I asked it at the music school about playing piano, and it just did it. Make a dialogue. Gianna is a pianist. Are you going to practice today? Yes, I'm practicing. That's amazing. Do you enjoy? Yes, but sometimes I feel nervous. I think you'll be okay. And so the mom used to write it out in Korean. So if you can read Korean, first I said, okay, put it in Korean, and it translated into Korean. And that's not what I wanted. I said, no, make the English pronunciation in Korean. And then it still didn't get it. So I said it again. The English words written in Korean pronunciation. And here, if you can read here, it's basically in English. It's like, hi, Jian, are you going to practice today? Hi, Eric. Yes, I'm practicing for or concert next week. And so basically, this isn't the correct way to teach English. The if you're going to teach English, you don't want them to write it out like this. I used to have students that wrote it out like this, and I would tell them, no, stop. This is not going to help you. This is a very special case. I would usually tell students not to do this because, to be honest, when I was teaching, when I was learning Korean, my very first year, I thought, okay, I'll do the same. I'll basically find the Korean words and try and write it out in English so I can read it. And that just put me back years in learning the language. So I would never suggest this for anyone except if it's a special case like this, because she's never going to be able to, I don't want to say never, but it's going to be very difficult for her to improve her English when, she struggles with studying daily tasks, or studying or doing daily tasks. So in her case, this is great. But it just shows you how good ChatGPT is for all these things, and we can be very creative in the way we use it. Alina, Manuel, when the pros weigh more than the cons, taking the plunge is huge, enormously lumping courage and self-esteem is there. Excellent. Manuel, hello. Two Manuels. Hi, Manuel Gordillo and Manuel Alves. Hi, guys. Adriana, hi from Argentina. The thing that you live began at 8 a.m. early for Sunday over here. I know. Thank you so much for joining, Adriana. I used to go 9 a.m. I used to start. But then, it's Brazil and Argentina. I used to start at 9 a.m. Argentinian time, but it's a little bit late for me to start at 10 p.m. here because I finished talking with you and I'm filled with energy, and then it's difficult for me to fall asleep. Almedra, 6 a.m. I knew it wasn't right. Man, where's that world map? Look, I had this idea. Okay, let's see maps. Okay, let's see Google Maps. Okay, let's see time zones. I totally had it wrong. I just looked up Brazil and I just assumed. Oh, no, it's a big difference. Wow. Okay, no. Okay, Brazil is like 2 different time zones than the US and Canada if you're on the East Coast. Yeah, I should have typed in EST. Okay, and Argentina is an hour behind Brazil. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. That's why I usually start so late. Thank you, Almedra, for waking up so early. What is English? Orient Writings looks like a Picasso picture. Yeah, Manuel, you're so creative. Yeah, it's a good way. Are you familiar with Varsity College? I think I've heard of it in South Africa. Yes, he has mentioned that a short while ago. Okay. The lyrics, those are the days, my friends, in Tenerife. There isn't north of Tenerife a big South Ocean population when the country's on winter time. Yeah. What is the time now? Yeah, anyway, so did that with the students this week. What have I been doing this whole weekend? I've been trying to get back on editing. So I've edited those 2 videos, 1 video, another quitting video. I've got 4 of those coming out. I want to finish those quitting videos. The thing is, they do really well in numbers, so I've got to put them out. Apparently, YouTube pushes them. And then I finished the 1 video on classroom management for teenagers. So I want to finish those videos, and then I need to finish editing the how to teach online. But the thing is, my views go down in December because everybody's getting ready for winter break. So actually my views plummet from December until March. So or February. Yeah, December to February. So December and January, not a lot of views come in, which is expected. So yeah, I'm just going to put out these quitting teaching videos and a few other videos. And then while I'm on vacation, I'm going to finish those, or not finish. It's going to be impossible to finish, but I'm going to shoot those 4 videos for how to teach those 4 things. And then I'm going to be making the worksheets so that when I come back, whenever I come back, I just want to get started on those lesson plans, because I think going forward with the channel video, I just wanted to cover all the videos I could cover, everything about classroom management, all the activities I could think of. And now I think the big thing for this channel for the next 2 years is going to actually be making lesson plans. Every week releasing a lesson plan with a worksheet. And then if somebody wants the worksheet, they can join the Patreon membership, because I really want to do that for the Patreon membership. Imagine your teacher and you need to teach countable or uncountable nouns, and there is a worksheet and a video of me explaining exactly how I would go about teaching it with the resources. I think it can make a big difference in the world. The only problem is, when I make I've got a certain idea of how I would go about teaching and creating the worksheets, and it just takes a lot of time and a lot of energy to do that. But hopefully I can get those done. Let me know about it. I think this week I'm finishing with my classes. I'm on vacation from next week, and next week I will start editing those 4 videos I told you about and put them out maybe in January or February. We'll see. And then I want to know what you guys think, because I think my best videos are maybe these videos about how to teach something. That's ideally what I wanted to do with the channel. I want to cover everything, but I think this is the thing that's necessary, is basically doing it lesson by lesson. Where are we? Hello from Cancun, Nidia Velasco. I always enjoy your videos. Thank you. Has it ever crossed your mind quitting teaching? Adriana, what a good question. So I've been watching these videos of teachers quitting, and some of them saying, they're very happy that they're away from the classroom. Thing is, somebody asked me about that. I don't know anything except for teaching. Well, I'm working on YouTube videos, and sometimes I've spoken at events or something. Chocolate. But quitting teaching, yeah, I could see it happening. Listen, my priority for the next year or two will be to get married and start a family. That's my priority, and if I could do that without a job, it would be great. But I need to pay the bills somehow, so I have to teach. If somebody came to me, but my teaching situation is very different right now. So if somebody came to me and said, Eric, you can have this corporate position, or you could do something, you can work at, like, let's say, a printing press, or something like that. You can be a writer. Yeah, I guess if the money was good enough, I'd try. But right now, my situation is very comfortable. I just teach my classes. I spend my time either going to the gym or making videos. Or recently, I've been very lazy because I'm, just commuting from work back home and to work. But we'll see how things go. I'll be on vacation, and it'll give me some time to think about things. But my goal for the channel has always been to help teachers. So I would feel like it's my mission to create content and things that teachers can use. Originally, when I started the channel, I wanted to make content on classroom management to help teachers, and also to share activities, to help teachers too, ideas for teachers. But I think going one step further and creating these lessons, like let's say 200 English lessons with worksheets, activities, how much good would that do in the world for teachers out there? For, how many English teachers are there in the world? Like a million? I don't know. Or a million, 20 million? Who knows? But if I can make resources like that for teachers, I'd feel like I made a difference. And then, after 2 years or 3 years, once I'm done with the 200 videos on that, maybe I'll focus on something like business English. And then after that, again on, pedagogy. So yeah, there's lots of things that I want to do. But right now, my priority on this channel, at least in my life, besides my personal goals is to help teachers out there. So yeah, good question. Uh, Teaching in the classroom. Yeah, no. I'm okay with not teaching in the classroom, but you know what's funny is a couple of years ago, I was contacted by a university, and I don't to teach teachers, to help teachers, and yeah, the interview was okay, but I think, but ultimately I didn't make it. But it got me so excited thinking about helping, going in class and not just teaching English, but actually teaching teachers and helping them. And I thought, oh, that's amazing. So yeah, I could see myself not teaching, university students or at school. But if I had a choice, I would love to work with teachers and create material for that. So yeah, that's something I'm thinking about. Carolina. Hello, Eric. I was wondering, how can I find my teaching style? For example, I love using AI to help me plan my lessons, but I don't want to overuse it. Very good question. Yeah, I think it's getting easier and easier just to rely on AI to do everything. Sorry, I think it's important to have some kind of fail safe, to put more of yourself in whatever you're doing with AI. So if you're creating it for lesson plans, I think challenge yourself and say, well, within every lesson plan, I want to share at least a personal story with the students, or I want to come up with my own activity that the students have to do, or at the very least, I should create the whatever assessment they should have. So I think we shouldn't become 100% dependent on AI. That's a dangerous path to take. So if you can at least personalize it somehow, that's a good thing. With each lesson, add something of yourself in there, because I've felt it too. When I create script, let's say I want to create a script on something, I could just read the script like that, but it won't be as creative and it might miss out on something. So I would still go and research and think of my own ideas to add in there. So yeah, I think that's what you should do, is have a fail safe where at least you challenge yourself to put something of your own in there, not so that it's not 100% just that. Yeah, I think that's very important. Najma, in some countries, teaching isn't that well paid job. Too much to do and paid comparatively less. Yeah, actually, yeah, I've made a video. It wasn't. It didn't really do as well as I thought it would. I made a. It took so much time to make this video. It was all about teachers' salaries around the world. I worked. Just the editing for it alone took like 2 weeks, and it just didn't get the number of viewers I thought it deserved. Because and my dad spent months going over the numbers, and I went over the numbers. It took months to create this video, and it got like 1,000 or 2,000 views. Let's see. No, it's at 2,500 views. This is horrible. I hate this video. It took so much of my time. Oh, anyway, no, it is what it is. Yeah, no, listen, it's bad. I think what we should do as teachers, we don't get paid a lot. There should always be a game plan. Simplify how you teach. So have structures in class, have a way to check your students' work and to grade them. Have systems in place to make your life easier. But then I also want you to find another. So many schools actually say that you can't work anywhere else, or you can't have a side project or a way to make money. But if they don't know about it, or if it's okay, if they say it's okay, I think always teach, but have something extra that you can focus on. So always look for, let's say, if you're teaching extra classes, or if you're making content, or if you find a way, you find a different way to utilize your skills, or to monetize your skills. I think always have a plan for in the next 10 years. So if you're teaching now and you think, okay, well, I'm teaching, think about think about where you want to be in 10 years, financially or with your family, or, just in life, or the experiences you want to have. And then kind of deconstruct how you can get there. And, if it means, finding a different way of making money, or, simplifying your life so that, at least you don't have a lot of stress for the amount of time that you're putting in, that's what you should do. I think that's very important. Nada. Hi. Najma, I teach undergraduate engineering students thinking to move some other country, but getting jobs for teaching in school and not in college. Yeah, I think the other thing is, with engineering, if you're teaching in engineering, if you've got something that is very niche, very important, make courses or something on how you're teaching engineering students, or, create specific resources for them, sell it on Teachers Pay Teachers, or just find a way to monetize your knowledge, or to get the knowledge and skills you need to improve, or to move, or find out if you want to teach in another country, what are the requirements, what would you have to do, what do you need to get there. Carolina says, I teach undergraduate, no, thank you, I teach business English and sometimes struggle finding materials, so I use AI to personalize. Perfect. Yeah, I've been thinking, I don't think I've made a video on how to teach business English. It's on my to-do list. I think I researched it a little bit, and I thought about some materials and some things to do. But yeah, I think if you can use AI to make dialogues and activities for the students, and getting the content for them, the vocabulary, the expressions, and things like that, AI is amazing. Imagine if you had to, in the past, it was so difficult to find books for it, but like this for you, Carolina, Najma, just to give you the idea. So if she spends all this time creating these lessons, bundle them up, and because a lot of people might be searching for it, but if you're creating these lesson plans with the worksheets and everything, it's easier just to sell it to teachers that are also teaching business to get it. I'm not saying everybody has to sell their lesson plans to make money, but it's just an example of like trying another way to succeed. Christoph, respect from Poland. Oh, I've been hearing a lot of good things about Poland. I would definitely like to visit. I heard it's it might be a good place to go one day. Islam. I would think that the one is not well paid. My salary is almost $200. Yeah. It's very difficult in some countries. I go with Najma. Fortunately, in Spain, primary and secondary teachers are a bit underpaid. On the contrary, university teachers are getting good wages. There's a loophole between both. Yeah, it sounds like, if you're starting out, or if you're teaching, if you're teaching primary school, it doesn't pay that much. But then once you get to university, you get well paid. There should be a balance. Oni, which AI tools can be used to teach English language? Use ChatGPT. What's really fun is if you have the ChatGPT app on your phone and it's got the audio function, you can just say, be my English teacher today. I'm a beginner English learner. Have a conversation with me about weather. And then AI just takes over, and you can ask it to be like a teacher. You can ask it to be like a boyfriend or girlfriend to teach you. Actually, I should do that. I need to study some Russian. I haven't done that in a bit. Unfortunately, excuse. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sad I lost all the Facebook viewers. I will try and get it back this week. I don't know how. I've been trying everything, text, messaging everyone. The only thing I haven't done is, like, there are some businesses or some people that say they are able to get it back, but I think all of those are scams, so I don't want to do that. So we'll see. Yeah, everyone. I'll release that new video on quitting teaching on Tuesday. And yeah, I need to finish up my grading for all my students to finish this week. Once I do that, I'll be able to get back to creating those lessons. Everyone, thank you so much, Manuel. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good week. Bye-bye.